Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be channeling messages from the Fae, from the spirits of the earth, and any ancestors that want to come through during this time of summer solstice of change and forward movement. And I would like to thank you for being here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps this channel. And I am keeping this message general and open and timeless. I am recording this during the Cancer season, summer season, but I have picked up on energies going as far as October and even January of next year. You might be viewing this at this time, but this is a message regarding seasons of change coming to you and how working with the Fae can help you manage some of the symptoms during this transition. Um, and I'm going to be linking any song I received in the description below. Right now, the first song that came through, and I feel like this might be a song that will help you heal a block, because that was one of the other messages I got. There's a block that needs to be healed or fixed moving on. And for some of you, that might be the case. You have a block that needs healing because when we're dealing with change, oftentimes there are challenges that come up that force us. If you're not dealing with a block, that's okay. There's still messages for you. But the song that came up was Stand Out, Fit In by 1OK Rock. And it really was this message of you are more deserving of being your authentic self and remaining in that power and state of mind. And remember, it's easier to be authentic to you when you're alone and you're not dealing with the influences of the world than it is to maintain that in the presence of others who cannot be their authentic self either, or shame or shun parts of you that come out when you choose to be authentic. So it is also a reminder to be very clear with boundaries that you set with other people in your life, and that the people in your life influence you more than you think. And it's about taking a stand for yourself and choosing those who give you that freedom to be yourself more often than choosing the people who force you to hide in your shell again. Because I had an image of a turtle like retreating into their shell. And then I also got an image of like the Pokemon, I forget what the name is. Oh my gosh, I forget. Oh, Torterra. Um, the final evolution of Turtwig. So you can evolve as a soul. You don't have to like retreat into your shell all the time. You can grow a beautiful planet on your back. You can grow this beautiful tree and not have to hide all the time. You are powerful. You're a powerful, wise, and old spirit and soul if you choose to be. Or you can stay stuck in that first stages of evolution. It's really up to you, but at the end of the day, it really is about your choice. We're all about choice here and making the choice that is right for you on this channel and not shaming yourself for that choice as well. So the Fae are really just coming here to remind you to really be true to you as usual and learn to play more. Learn to indulge in your inner child, and not the immature side of your inner child, not the mean-spirited side of your inner child, but the inner child that is free and uses the world as its playground and collaborates rather than detracts from it, like being on a sidewalk with a bunch of chalk and just drawing a picture like round robin. Like if you ever played that game growing up where there would be a piece of paper and you and your friends would sit around the table and someone would draw something and then pass the picture over to someone else. It's kind of like that. You're collaborating together with a group of people. And the more you collaborate with people who allow your inner child to shine through, the easier it's going to be for you to make it through this transition. So some of the signs and synchronicities you might be seeing, or that this is a reading that's going to help you. Let me see. Yeah, I was seeing a lot about October, actually. If some of you celebrate certain things in October, as far as like for religious purposes, for occult purposes, because I heard the phrase season of the witch. I saw pumpkins. Let me see. Yeah, Virgo Sagittarius season might be significant. You might have placements or birthdays in those seasons. I was also seeing something about a 6-month shift is happening for you, either beginning now or something happened 6 months ago that has shifted you. And you're going through another transformation cycle, which is why this this message is coming forward. I also saw seashells and a mother of pearl, or this specifically this black pearl. And then that, of course, made me think about the black pearl from the Pirates of the Caribbean. And, you know, y'all might be a pirate or have pirate ancestry. Who knows if that's you, drop it in the comments. I think that's kind of cool. Or maybe you had someone in your family who was part of the Navy and joked about being a pirate. That's kind of specific. Or some of you might have family members who wore eye patches and they might be coming through in this reading. I'm definitely sensing a lot of masculinity around you, and which is the Fae represent both masculine and feminine energies. I've seen them appear both, specifically gnomes. Gnomes seem to be a very protective energy around you in your home. Usually in the summer, that's when they appear to me. And very recently, when I was going through like a spiritual kind of upgrade, but mostly I was just exhausted spiritually, I was shown in my mind's eye an image of a gnome protecting my window, protecting my crown space. And I think if you call upon them or work with them, they're here for you. If you have a garden and you have like a fairy home, maybe honoring the gnomes too by, you know, placing a lawn gnome or just like welcome them into your fairy space. Because, you know, if any of you do that, if you work with the Fae and you have a fairy house in your garden, and they've been helping you and your plants grow, creating a space for gnomes is a good way to protect you and your home, and indulging in the light side, because the Fae have their light and shadow as well. And as long as you contribute with your love and light and pure intentions, they will also return the favor to you. It's just about collaboration and treating them like another family member. So let's see what advice is coming out. Okay, I'm actually being told to look at the blockages that might be standing in your way first. Okay, I just saw an image of a horse. You have a free spirited nature. Is there a movie called Spirit that's about a horse? That might be significant. Maybe some of you grew up with that movie or like that movie, because I just saw like I never saw the movie, so I'm just letting you know. But I got an image of like I believe is the horse from that movie. The main character was like running towards me. You might have also been born in the year of the horse or have someone who was born in the year of the horse, but let me see. Yes, maybe Sagittarius placements. Because Sagittarian energy and the year of the horse and Chinese astrology have very similar energies. I at least I get Sagittarian vibes from the horse, because the horse is a masculine sign, and it's also a fire, and it's about fast forward movement, like the Eight of Wands. So, you know, like in tarot, the Eight of Wands is ruled by Sagittarius, so it's almost like, you know, maybe also the horse, but also like the Chariot card. Yeah, there's something that okay. I'm getting, there's might be a toxic masculine urge to be right over being happy, or you want to be right so badly that you choose to believe you're right even if you're wrong. There's this fear of being wrong or being seen as less than a leader than you think you are. Being overconfident in your abilities, but not able to concede when you know you're wrong. I don't know why, but I'm not reading this as being upright. I'm actually seeing this as the blockage is your need to be right all the time, to win over other people, to feel superior, is standing in your way of true happiness and justice. Because in order for justice to be served, in order for for you to be free, the truth needs to be seen. Like, freedom will set you free. No, sorry. Wow, that was interesting. The truth will set you free. When the truth comes out, you will be free, for better or for worse. And it's more of a mental freedom. Like, if you're so holding on to this need to control a narrative, control an outcome, control people, doing it your way, my way or the highway, that's keeping you in this rigid, stagnant energy. And if the universe is sending people across your path or just information your way from higher sources and you're refusing to listen to them or receive that, you're going to stay stuck. It's like praying to God for help and then he sends you a life raft and you're like, no, not that way. And it's like, well, what way do you want it? And it's like, I want a ship to pull in because I know it will be safe and I know it will be steady and it'll get me to safety. And it's like, but you don't know that. You don't know if there's a ship available to save you. So if God sends like a piece of information, an information packet your way, a link to a resource, a friend of the family who gets you what you need, like, don't be so stuck in your pride and your need to do it a specific way that you're not moving forward or transforming on this path. Because I think that's the thing that might be standing in the way of you moving forward. And let's see if we can get some advice from your guardian angels. Okay, so basically, yeah, no, this is clarifying this. What is standing in the way of you, your highest light, and your manifestations is your need to control everything, to control an outcome, control exactly what you're receiving. You know, if you're being super specific and rigid with your manifestations, they're not going to come through. Because, okay, actually, this example came up for me recently because I was having this really weird. When I talk with God, I have like, how do I want to say it? Like conversations. I don't know how to say it. Like internally, if a topic comes up because I have an inner monologue, I go through it and have an internal conversation as if I'm like on a podcast, let's say, as if I am like talking with someone in front of me about a specific thing. So the topic that came up was like the example of like getting a car I made in a previous video where you might be wanting to manifest a car specifically. And for some of you, that's not it. This is just more of a an example. Like if you're trying to manifest something as specific as a car, and you want this very specific make and model, and you want it to be at this specific place and location, the initial want is I want a car. The reason behind it might be different reasons, and you want to be able to get from point A to point B. You want it as a status symbol, but you're just manifesting a car, and you're given every opportunity to get something that is better for you, something that is cheaper for you. Like a friend recommends to you, hey, here's exactly what you're looking for. It's just a little bit cheaper, it's used, but it's going to, keep you in the long run. It's still a fancy car. It's still something you'll like, but you're so set on and so focused, like tunnel vision on, I need this thing, that you might not see that in the future when you get that thing, there are a whole bunch of problems that arise. You follow through and you get the car you wanted, but now you realize it is too expensive. The payments you might not be able to afford. You have to buy increased insurance rates, and then the car has parts that are not easily available and cost more to replace. And then you're left with this hunk of junk that's sitting in your driveway that just can't go anywhere because you were so insistent on getting it. And now you have to work to pay that off because you can't get another car unless you pay off this one. So it's like God is stopping you from making a decision you will regret later by offering you the better option. It's exactly what you want and what you need, but it's only going to be receivable to you if you accept that. You're only going to be able to get exactly what you want and need and more if you concede to the fact that maybe you don't know everything. Maybe you don't see that what you're asking for might kind of blow up in your face down the line. Maybe you're being handed something 10 times better, and taking the path of least resistance means understanding the signs. Like if God is giving you the best way possible, take it. And don't ignore your pride, but admit when you are wrong, admit when you might be sticking too closely to some sort of outdated mindset. So that message might be for a few of you, and you're gonna have to kind of bear with me. Today's not exactly the best day for me, but so I'm a little bit shaky. So basically, yeah, that's kind of the blockage that's coming through the most is be gentle and kind with yourself and courageous, but be open. It's okay to have this block. It's perfectly normal. I mean, in this world, there is still this mindset of pushing forward, yeah, and pushing forward no matter what. There's a lot of like father or toxic masculine wounds that seem to be coming up in the collective in general, and a lot of that has to do with when we see people in our environment acting in such a way, in a very darkly masculine way, which is basically to use power and control and anger and rage as a way to basically control a population, keep them from moving forward, keep them in this state of mind where everything has to be strict and rigid and according to the rules, but the rules always change because the ones who make the rules always change them to keep control because there's all this insecurity, there's all this masking, there's all this baggage, and when we see that happening, of course, parts of ourselves are going to feed into it. I'm going to admit that happens to me all the time. Like I still have this wound I'm working on, and the more I see people in society kind of leaning into the whole do or die, I need to be right, and I'm gonna fight for that no matter what, even if it means hurting myself and the ones I love. Like I get that. It's hard to resist that when you see so many other people giving into that side of them. But you don't have to. You have a choice. You have the freedom to choose. If you know this is a block and this is something you're working on, I'm going to get some advice for you because, sweetie, you deserve this Nine of Pentacles. Like, I'm going to say, here's the guidance and the way to get rid of the side of you that needs to be right and stand in the side of you that values truth and authenticity over power and control, to keep the peace, to be a bringer of love and nourishment. And sometimes it's okay to be right and still, let someone else be right. You know what I mean? Would you rather be happy or right? Sometimes you have to be like, okay, I know I am right and they are wrong, but I am just going to compromise and have compassion because keeping the peace when you are with someone you love, or if you're doing something you love, or if you're actively supporting a family, that is more important. Love is more important than being right. So hopefully that's helpful for those of you who are stuck. Because moving forward, let me see if I have any advice. I think some of you, if that isn't resonating for some of you, there might be something in your life that is keeping you from your manifestation, and it might be an authority figure who is blocking you from moving forward, or has some sort of direct influence about what you get in life, and you're moving on from that. Because they could also be, you could have that figure in your life who is blocking you from moving forward, and you might be protected at this point in time because you might not have a choice. Like if you're still living with them or have some sort of dependency on them, like if you're like just graduated high school or like in college and you need to go to them because you need to kind of buy your time until you're out, here I'm going to also give you advice for that as well, but just know that it doesn't matter like what environment you're in, you're going to be affected by the people around you. Whether you resonate with being this King of Swords or someone else in your life is like that, that is going to affect you. Their King of Swords energy is going to then feed into you, and you might reflect that too within yourself. And any self-limiting beliefs might pop up, as well as you being more argumentative. If you're with difficult people, you're more likely to become a difficult person, unfortunately. And I really hate to say that, but that is the truth. And, I'm just going to say from my experience, yeah, when I was with a community of people before, I'm just going to use like I was with a friend group like 10 years ago who are stuck in a certain mentality. And I noticed that I was very bitter, cynical, self-sabotaging. I valued my self-worth, and I really did not like myself very much. And I needed to kind of prove to everyone that I was worthy of their love, and I needed to like prove to them they were worthy of my love too, which was a weird dynamic to be in. But let me just tell you, the moment I stepped away from those relationships and went into ones that were a little bit more open and optimistic, and cleaner. It was just so much like easier to see how I had become a version of myself I didn't really like. That I was conforming to appease a group of people that I wanted to like me, but were not like me. So it was me becoming a version of myself I didn't like, me not realizing that maybe it really just is not the right group of people for me. And that's okay. It's not that they're bad. It's just maybe I need to find a group of people who give me the freedom to be me. And there's a lot of hate that builds up and inner rage when we can't be ourselves for so long. It like there's got to be a breaking point. So I just want to let you know that it's safe to travel outside of these circles. Even if you're just weaning yourself off of that energy and setting firm boundaries with yourself and others and learning discernment, what is their needs and wants and what is their, inner wounds and what is something you need to work on. And, having an outside group to work with that on, like a therapist, an outside friend group, people from school, maybe your college classes, or, if you're in a, some of you might have dorm roommates. Like if you are off for the summer, like I'm the Fae are challenging you to go out with them on a summer break and just see how you feel after. If they are positive influences on you, getting you out of the family, out of the household, because that is going to improve you a lot and get you to learn more about yourself, because you can't necessarily learn everything there's to know about you in solitude. Yes, you can for a brief amount of time, but we are not solitary creatures. You learn more about yourself when you're in a group of people than when you're alone, because you learn how you behave and interact, and you just need to find your school of fish. You need to find your pod of dolphins. You need to find your aquarium. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So I got a High School Musical reference. I'm going to link it in the description below. Some of you might need to see that. And it was the Status Quo song, like you follow the status quo, and it's like I'm okay. Do you choose to do that or not? But it's an interesting kind of thing to think about too. How much people around us influence us. So the advice is to just move on without rage, move on with mercy. Okay, that's an interesting song that came up. Okay. Some of you might be dealing with a little bit more intense emotions. I didn't feel that, but I heard a song come up. I will link it in the description below to honor that. For those of you who might be dealing with darker situations, I don't know if I should say this. Like, I'm going to give a trigger warning. If some of you have been dealing with trigger warning, um, abuse, or some sort of a one-sided unfair situation, and are working through the trauma of that situation, then okay, I'm hearing this might not be for you. Okay, I'm hearing that there's another reading on this channel that might be for you. It's going to take a lot more if you're in a very dark situation or trauma bonded relationship. And I'm not saying there's no hope. I'm saying there might be another. I'm being told there's another message on this channel. There might be. Okay, I'm being shown a specific video, and I will link that video in the description below for those of you who resonate, just so you can be taken to that, because it's another Fae message. I will put that in the description below for those of you who resonate with that. But if you want to hear more guidance, stay here. I am here for you. I'm sending a lot of love. It's not easy. I'm going to just say that I came from a situation like that, like when I was in college and, 10 years ago, and I was dealing with a lot of grief. I know what it's like. And don't be ashamed. Let me just say, if you're in the anger part of your grieving cycle, you have to get angry. You have to feel all those feelings that you couldn't feel when you were a child and you were mistreated and you were used and sacrificed to keep the family safe and placate the demons within the ones in the household, the monsters in your mothers and fathers. And while yes, they might have treated you really poorly and you might have seen them as being evil people, just knowing that making amends with them might not be a good thing and it's not your fault is okay. It's just walking away from the situation. If you can't now spiritually walk away and seek outside help, seek outside mentoring, like focus more on the people who get you and love you and understand you and the ones you choose to trust than the ones that keep you stuck in the darkness. That's my biggest piece of advice there. The Fae are saying they have a gift to give to you if you wish to receive it. Some of you might be forced into an opportunity where you live the life of your dreams. So here's some good news. After all that, you're going to be forced into an opportunity to live the life of your dreams. I'm hearing that's for me too. Oops. Okay. Well, oh, that's interesting. So y'all, here's the thing. When you choose to break through the darkness, when you choose not to repeat the same cycle, but to release yourself from it and act in a different way or respond in a different way than to what you would have before, you are allowing in spirit to bring new things in, brighter things in. And I'm just going to say from experience, this happens again and again. Like for me, the last 5 years or so has been that cycle of bad thing happens. I have to respond to it in a certain way. After bad thing is released, something really incredibly good happens. Don't be in denial. You're not a river. You're not drowning anymore. It's like you're sitting on the Nile in this lush, beautiful energy. And I actually got an image of, oh, who is that? I saw, it's interesting. So I saw an image of an Egyptian woman from like ancient Egyptian times wearing the white garment and pouring water into the Nile. And she was walking among reeds, and she might have been a high priestess. Okay, I'm hearing high priestess Nefertiti, or Nefertiti. Yeah, high priestess. If those of you who work with the Egyptian gods or goddesses or naders, they might be also calling out to you to work with them during this solstice. Like, I'm hearing in Egyptian times, like pouring water into the Nile would help with Nile fever. Okay, take that with a grain of salt. The god, Thoth also wants to work with you. There's a lot of like high priestess energy coming at the tail end of this. And it's reminding you to balance all parts of you to be more authentic. But it feels like feeding into the river of your life is going to help you release yourself from these fears and these self satisfying energies around you that wish to drag you down deeper into denial, not the emotion, not the river, the state of mind. Are keeping you from floating down the Nile. it, so, because if there is someone in your life that's kind of taking control or usurping their authority, or even your sense of this inner wound that needs to stay strict to the sense of authority, dive into that. Talk to the goddess and goddesses that you normally talk to a higher version of yourself, talk to God, like whoever you feel that you revere in the higher realms, go to them, put it on them, let them send you a sign, let them send you a synchronicity. How do I walk away from this with peace and clarity in my heart, with the best intentions of me and everyone around me, with peace and kindness and empathy? Ask them, call upon them, and they will move you forward. They will lead you down this pathway. And any sign of synchronicity that crosses your path, don't take for granted. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get exactly what you wish for. God is leading you there. It might not be in the way you think because He is so infinitely seeing everything. And the Fae are working alongside God. Remember, we're all co-creating. The Fae are a part of God. They are an energy of this earth. Like, I'm hearing some of you might be looking into plant science, also like spirit science is coming up. Balancing the realms of spiritual energy in the material world is going to be important for you now. And welcoming a space for those who exist in the spiritual world within your house, within just your mind, or in general, is going to help you move forward with a lot more authenticity and clarity, and the things you need to do will get done. You will get and receive what it is you want most, desire most, and need most. And if so, it might even be better than you expected. It will be lasting longer because you are working with the creator of all things and you're co-creating with them. So if some of you are master manifestors, this is no joke. You will get what you want. But sometimes when you receive something you ask for in such a negative way, it will come back to you in a negative way because you're starting that, let's say, sense of spell work from ego. You're starting it from a lack mentality. You will receive it in the same way that you put it out into the universe. Not enough. There's something to complain about. Don't start your manifestations on a foundation of complaint, on a foundation of cynicism or negativity. Because if you're growing from that, if you're sprouting that seed and nurturing it with that water of negativity, the manifestation itself is not going to shine. It is not going to be as worth as much because it's just not built on that foundation. Keep that in mind. Also, if you are someone who does a lot of spell work or, uses certain types of intentional practices to make something, but even your thought alone can make or break a manifestation for better or for worse. You are getting and receiving what you asked for, but whether or not you asked for it does not really matter. In fact, it doesn't exist. The way you asked for it matters more than the ask itself. And I hope that makes sense to some of you, that choosing your manifestations wisely depends on your core, your wounds, your light, and what you truly want above all else. So that's what I have for you today. I want to thank you very much for joining me. And the Fae also have one more message. Wear some amethyst bracelets or wear your grandpa's favorite watch. Okay, so I heard, okay, that's very, okay, there's a specific message for some of you. Some of you might have a grandpa, Timothy. He's telling you to wear the favorite watch he gave you, because now I'm seeing a watch with a black wristband and it's like this rectangle watch with like a silver face. It's plain. And like I'm just seeing it on like someone's wearing on someone's wrist. Yeah, so Grandpa Timothy wants you to wear his favorite watch so you will always be on time for what you need most. You are a magnetic force of nature. So the Fae want you to know that. Protect your crown, wear amethyst, go out in nature. This is a sign for you during this summer season of change, this divine season of transformation. And I wish you the best. I send you all my love, and I will catch you in another reading.